My name is Andrew, and I'm just going to give a brief background about my life. Not really my life, but my story here. I kind of, a couple months ago, I kind of got to a point in my life where I was just kind of stuck. I didn't really know what was going on. And I was afraid for my future a little bit because I realized I have so much stuff to pay for. I'm getting an apartment next year. I'm about $70,000 in debt when I graduate from the school. Who knows if I'll get a job? Hopefully I do. But if I don't, that's okay. And I realized that when my friend gave me this opportunity and he introduced this to me, and I was like, what are you talking about? I was really confused. But I went on with an open mind and I listened to him, and all my worries of not being able to pay for anything kind of changed. And like my parents are kind of off next year, so I was a little frightened about that, but not anymore. And now I know what this company is going to be able to do for me. I just got back from Vegas, actually, a couple days ago, some of my friends in this room, and that was, I mean, it's really cold here now, but that's okay. That convention was amazing. I learned a lot, and I'm really excited. I mean, I'm only 18 years old, and I don't know if you've ever heard about any 18-year-olds getting flown across the country for a business meeting, but that's what I did. So that's what can kind of do for you. It's really exciting, and I'm just super blessed to be given this opportunity, and I would like to share it with everyone. And so if you just want to watch this brief video really quick, kind of share a little bit about the company, and then we'll bring up some more people to kind of discuss their stories.
It should be playing. Yeah. It's frozen. Yeah. It froze at 2 seconds.
Let's go. We're good. Sorry, guys.
That's good. That's
Yeah, leave that one on.
Yeah.
Just hit the refresh the page.
Yeah, just-
Quite simple. Here at Vemma, we provide you innovative wellness products that are specifically designed to make you feel healthier, to make you feel happier. And when you do something as natural as just share those results with the people that you care about, you're able to participate in a pool of money that would normally be spent on Madison Avenue, but we want to invest it in you.
Revolution. What does the word really mean? To change, to improve, to fight back, to move onward, upward. It means all of those things and more. It means to face your fears, to get rid of doubt, to take on a challenge that silently terrifies you if for no other reason than you need to overcome it. It means to join with others for a cause, changing the world in what little way you can. Because when you find the power to make that kind of change, you're creating a revolution.
What you do?
My bad.
After being something like this, you don't want to ever do anything else because you just realize what true freedom is.
We do want to make a difference. We want to reach others with a story and a message that you can do this. You can change your life.
The lesson that we have learned from this business is make choices based on your heart. Make choices on things that you're passionate about, and make choices on things that get you excited.
Vemma's offered us not only financial freedom, but something so valuable, which is time freedom. You can meet people that make a lot of money, but they have no time to enjoy the activities of life.
You know, it's crazy how you can walk into the store, you never have to look at a price tag. It's crazy how you can go fly wherever you want to fly to. It's crazy that you can, help retire, your parents early. And really, you can do whatever you want.
You have options in life. You have the ability to choose the way you live it.
You know, they say success leaves clues, and I like empowering young people to be able to control their own situation.
I think if you really understand network marketing, you realize that what we do is important. We do important work. We change people's lives.
So the one thing that Vemma has taught us is no matter what situation you're in, how bad do you want the change? How bad do you want to change the situation you're in? So ask yourself, are you ready for the change? Are you ready to do something different today? Something that may have the potential to change your entire future? Are you ready to take life in a new direction, reaching higher and farther than you ever have before? Because if you are, Vemma will be there with you every step of the way.
Alright, so that's a little brief introduction, and like I said, my name is Andrew. I'm 18 years old, and I kind of see this opportunity as a way for me to change a lot of things in my life. Not only does it come with a lot of money, but that's not necessarily important. I like to help people. That's my main goal in life. So that's kind of why I do it, is to see other people happy, see other people enjoy the problems that like they wouldn't necessarily be able to do without without this. And really, I know a lot of friends who have graduated college and they can't find a job. Literally, I don't know if you guys know this, but statistically, 53.6% of college kids graduate and are underemployed or unemployed. Yeah. And that's sad to me. And really, I see this as a way for me to improve people's lives, improve my own life. My girlfriend's one of the main reasons I do this. We've been together for 5.5 years plus. Yeah. And I've seen her work 40 hours in one weekend on top of being a full-time student. And she literally is so stressed and has no time to do anything. I barely even get to see her. And I see this as a way to change that, because no one should be that stressed, worried about money, earning roommate, living paycheck to paycheck. It's not fair. It's not a good way to live. It's stressful and it's not okay. So she's a big why for me, provide for our apartment and everything, and help people. I really enjoy that. So without further ado, I want to bring up someone that I met not too long ago and has literally become one of my best friends. He's taken me to Vegas and everything, and without Vemma, I would not know him, and I'm very fortunate to know him now. He's been in this company a little over 4.5 months, made over $5,000, and is about to be driving a 2013 Mercedes this month. And I don't know about you guys, I'm not that smart, but if a company's giving out free Mercedes and BMWs, I'm going to listen. I'm trying to get involved, you know? I'll be in my BMW by the end of the summer, thanks to this man. So here's the one and only John Monroe.
Yeah. I just want to give it back to Andrew.
Yes,
that
sir.
kid is going to change a lot of lives in this business. It's going to help a lot of people make a lot of money. All right. So basically, what we're here today is to share this opportunity with you. And what's going on in this company is that this company is getting a little bigger on the West Coast, but honestly, nobody knows about this on the East Coast, and that's where it's such an opportunity for us out here. Okay, and what's crazy is that I was just talking to Chuck Wing earlier, and there's someone in his business who's 19 years old making $30,000 a month in this company. I don't know about you guys, but I have never heard of anyone making $30,000 a month besides like Justin Bieber. Seriously though, and it's crazy because we're not here today to say what this is doing for all these people out there. We're here today to say what this can do for you. All right, and a little bit about my story. I was a broke college kid. I'm in $60,000 worth of debt like every other college kid out there. We know that school is really, really, really expensive. But what most people probably don't know is that, like Andrew was saying earlier, 53.6% of kids that graduate from college a year later are underemployed or unemployed. So that means that they're not getting a job in the field that they went to study. They're spending all this money, I'm spending all this money to go to school, get good grades, and get a high-paying job when I have less than a 50% chance to get a job in the field that I'm studying. So I've had a little bit of work experience. I worked all summer, last summer, at this laundry place, sweating my butt off, and I worked about 35 hours a week. I made about $300 a week. Now, I don't want to graduate from school and go back to that. So I was like, I need something else. And crazy enough, when I was in this state, I was like, I need something more. My boy Connor Brennan came to me and shared this opportunity with me. Now, like I said, not to say what it has done for me, but to say what it can do for you. I'm making just as much money as I was in the laundry shop, but I'm working with all my friends. And the crazy thing is that if I were to take a week off next week or a month off, I would still be making that much money. That's what we're doing in this company. We're building residual income. And for all of you guys that don't know what residual income is, it means you're getting paid all the time. So I'm going to share like some numbers with you guys. I'm a numbers guy because numbers don't lie. So I'm going to share some numbers with you guys. All right. This is a network marketing company. In the United States alone last year, network marketing was the second highest paid profession behind professional sports. So what that means is that if you are, like the way people were making the most money last year behind professional sports was in network marketing. The most millionaires that were created were in network marketing. That alone would make me want to be a part of a network marketing company, you know? Donald Trump, he says network marketing is the best kept secret. Now, what's the difference between this network marketing company and all these other network marketing companies out there is that this is in the very beginning stages. Okay, have any of you guys ever heard of like Herbalife, Monavie, Avon? All of these huge network marketing companies, multi-billion-dollar network marketing companies, they've all been around for 30 plus years. Now, what's crazy is that this guy we met at convention, his name's Anthony Powell. He was one of the leading incomers in Herbalife. This guy made $60 million in Herbalife, and he just switched over to this company 90 days ago because he says this is going to be the next Herbalife. Now, what's crazy is that he started in Herbalife when he was 19 years old, and Herbalife is making a little over $100 million a year, the same stage this company is in right now, and he went to make $60 million in Herbalife. Now, if what he says is true and this is going to be the next Herbalife, then there's going to be people that get started right now and go to make millions of dollars. And we all know in this company that this is going to be bigger than Herbalife, all right? Because the difference between this company and Herbalife is just a bunch of healthy supplements, you know, herbal drinks, herbal pills, vitamins and whatnot, but they don't have an energy drink. Kids our age, all they do is drink energy drinks, and if you don't, you know a bunch of people that do. Okay, so this is going to be bigger than Herbalife. There are all these people in this company that are making all this money. All the people in this room know that we're all going to make all this money too, and we're just here to share this opportunity with you. So, without further ado, I'd like to bring up one of my boys, the kid that got me started, who's blowing this up on the East Coast. He's the reason why this is here on the East Coast, and he is going to be a 7-figure incomer in this company soon enough. So, without any longer, I'm going to introduce Mr. Connor Brennan.
Give it back to Mr. J Money. So I'm gonna tell you guys my story really quick. We have some great people in the room today, so I'm gonna let them take over after myself. But my name's Connor Brennan. I'm 19 years old. Average kid. If you guys knew me before this, average kid. The funny thing is how I got introduced to this is a little different than probably everyone in this room. You know, so I got introduced to this by my ex-girlfriend's college roommate. So you're thinking, how'd that happen? You know, so I used to date a girl that went to the University of Vermont, and through that I was blessed, as I say today, blessed to meet this girl named Casey Short, and we became really close because I was constantly going up there, staying in their dorm room. You know, had to kind of suck up them, get a little hospitality. So me and Casey became really close too. And over the summer, me and my girlfriend broke up, and Casey called me on the phone. Was like, Connor, I need to show you something. Like, it's crazy to be perfect at this. And I was like, kind of confused. Like, she was trying to take advantage of me while I was down, you know? So I didn't really listen to her. I was kind of skeptical. Didn't really understand what was going on until I ended up Skyping to an event from the San Francisco Bay Area. And I was blessed to meet these two gentlemen named Stu Massengill and Mr. Jeb Wendelus. And to this day, I wasn't really paying attention when Stu was talking, which is funny. He's like a brother to me now. But I ended up listening to Jeb Wendelus. They introduced this guy. They said, this kid is 23 years old. He's been doing this for about a year and a half and is clearing a 6-figure income. I was like, wow, maybe I should listen to what this guy has to say, you know? So I ended up listening to what Jed had to say. Within probably about 30 seconds, my mind was expanded, my mind was blown, and I was ready to get started, you know? And since then, we've kind of grown this thing out here on the East Coast to 0 to, you know what I mean, about maybe 200 people. And that's just the beginning, guys, because where this is going, you guys have no idea, you know? That's nice. But this thing is going nuts, and the reason why this is going so crazy is because these young kids are actually kind of finding a way out. You know, because a lot of us, without even asking, if I was to ask everyone here and said, to get money, what would you go do? Go get a what?
Job.
Right? But the crazy thing is, a job is one of the worst ways to go make money. Because you're constantly training tired for money, you know? And then also another crazy thing that I learned a couple weeks ago was all of us are learning how to make money from the 97% of people that struggle financially. You know, in this, we're kind of on to what the 3% of people know. And that's what's really changing up the game with this. A little bit about me, I always wanted to be a teacher. I love helping people, like Andrew said. But unfortunately, being a teacher, I've seen my mom be a teacher and even see her struggle financially. So I'm really doing this for my mom because I've seen what she's done helping people. But I found out in this, which I really love, that the more people you help, the more money you make. So that was really cool to me, and I'm fired up. I'm jacked. You know, we just came from Vegas. We're ready to take this thing through the roof out here. But I mean, I need to bring up these two people here. Blessed to have them out here from California, Mr. Chuck and Sally Wing. These guys they're one of the top income earners in the company. I saw them on stage in front of 6,000 people. They're clearing about $500,000 a year, so you should probably listen to what they have to say. You know, because they know what's going on. I was blessed to meet them today. I was talking to Chuck for about 5 minutes. Got so much knowledge already. Glad that they're here for a week. But without further ado, I'd like to bring them up to speak to you guys.
I think since we know almost everybody, I'm going to ask Sally just to share our story with you in a couple of minutes, and then I'd like to maybe give you some insight on what it was like 6 years ago in San Diego, when in a room with fewer people than this, Tom Alkazen said, "Who wants to make 6 figures in the next 6 months?" Did anybody here like to make 6 figures in the next 6 months?
Yes, sir.
But Sally's going to tell our story first.
Well, our background, we are educators. We have been as a part of a school district, public education for 20 years. Everybody knows you don't go into teaching to get rich. Two other teachers, am I stand on that? Give me an amen. You don't go into teaching to get rich. If there's any place you go next to get more, not rich, it's ministry, and that's what we did. We went from 20 years in education in public school system to about a 10-year season in ministry in private Christian education. And, you know, no complaints. We took our nest egg, such as it was, and cracked and scrambled it and used that to subsidize our season in ministry. And at the end of that season, we were at a professional and financial crossroads. What are we going to do now? We still think they're hiring at Walmart for greeters. And since that wasn't a real attractive option, in addition, we had established a nonprofit organization, 501c3 whose goal was to provide scholarships and grants for students to continue their Christian education, whether it was high school or college. And so we went to a friend of ours that we knew from our teaching days, Tom Alkazen, parent volunteer basketball coach, token dad on all the school field trips. Didn't really know what Tom did, but he served on our nonprofit board. And he made regular contact with Chuck over the years, even after we left that ministry position. And he said, "I'd like to talk to you about something. You know how you're always telling me that you're trying to raise money for this nonprofit of yours? Well, the reality is it's easier to earn it than it is to raise it. I think I have an idea that I'd like you to look at." Well, he sat down an orange box. Chuck looked at the orange box and gave it to me. You remember that Life commercial? "I'm not going to try it, you try it." So Chuck wasn't willing to be the orange box guinea pig. He was willing to let me, be that experimental child. And I had fabulous results on the product. When I began, I was overweight, out of shape, inactive, and in pain. from a lifetime of degenerative arthritis. I've been on some kind of medication since I was 15 years old. And, you know, they're all manner of things that go along with taking medication, side effect upon side effect, and the secondary and tertiary and quaternary medications they give you for it. I didn't really have any expectations about taking Vima as a supplement. They had me at liquid. I didn't have to swallow pills. Hallelujah. So I began using the Vima supplement on a daily basis. Lo and behold, to my amazement and the shock and dismay of my doctors, within 6 months, I was off of my prescription pain medication and anti-inflammatory. The good news is when you get rid of the one, you pretty soon start getting rid of the others. And when I turned 50, I know, y'all think I'm way less. When I turned 50, I was prescription free for the first time in my adult life. Let me tell you, when your results are that dramatic, it got me pretty excited. And I began to exercise what we call the arm's reach rule. If you get within arm's reach of me, I'm going to tell you why I'm so excited about Vima. And in a very short amount of time, just from that enthusiasm and positive result, we have generated a modest monthly income. We were paying for our product, that's good, earning enough that it kind of neutralized that expense in the budget, and yet didn't really have the boss on board. He thought I was suffering from psychosomatic healing. I wanted it so desperately that I believed I was feeling better, that I believed I was better. And I had that kind of Svengali influence on all these other people who were feeling better. And it wasn't until we went to a Vima convention together. I had gone once before with some friends, but we went together, and Dr. Oz showed up for the first time. 5 minutes conversation with Dr. Oz, who had all the same things coming out of his mouth that had come out of my mouth for the last 18 months, and yet suddenly it had so much more credibility. Yeah, I knew that. We had a Pillow Talk conference board meeting that night, and really seriously looked at each other and said, I think this could be our vehicle. I think we could make this work. In under 5 months following that convention, we set the record that has happily been broken many times. We went from silver leaders, as some of you know what that is, about $250 a month, silver leaders to presidential. Wow. We had a very good experience. I poured a lot of Vima samples. A lot. And that was back in the day when we had 2 bottles. You had to mix it yourself. Okay. Yeah, she remembers. This is my daughter. And it was persistence. We had the burden at that time of brand awareness. Nobody knew what this was. Vima. What's Vema? And so we had the challenge of really introducing and breaking into the market with this product. About 5 years ago, the executive and the research development team decided, you know, I think there's a whole segment of the market that we're not tapping. And what do they want? They roll off the mattress, texting and Skyping, and they got things to do, places to go. They're really not concerned about nutrition, even though we know they need it. What they're talking about is energy. So what do you say we sneak some nutrition in? Anybody, your moms ever hide the vegetables into the French fries? Yeah. Okay, that's kind of what we did here. We hid the nutrition in the energy drink. You're getting all that good nutrition, but it's in a delivery system that you immediately recognize and embrace. That changed the game. Suddenly, we were embracing and looking at a growing market that no other network marketing company has approached and tapped into. And for all of the reasons that you heard John and Andrew and Connor mentioned, there's kind of a perfect storm here. The economic situation, the debt load that you're carrying out of college, the job market, and just the demand for this product. And you come into this without the preconceptions that some of us had. I alluded to the young man who said you're familiar with a very well-established company from your former country. You don't come in with any preconceived ideas about, oh, it's one of those things. You just know, hey, this is a new thing, and you're willing to embrace it and run with it and make it your own. I think the circle was made complete about 18 months ago when the Vima Body line was launched. Not only are we working with some of the best transformation specialists in the country right now, we've got a huge audience for this product, and we get, again, the perfect storm. There is a crisis, a health crisis. I work with a lot of women, especially women over 50, and I can say without hesitation, beautiful, beautiful comes in absolutely every size. But healthy does not come in a double X. And there are a lot of beautiful people who are struggling with health because of obesity. We could deal with a whole lot of health issues, financial issues in this country by addressing that. I believe our Vima family is complete now, and we have a product and a program for absolutely everyone. We are going to ride this wave, and we are thrilled. As educators, we really feel like we're doing what we've always done. We're teaching people. We're teaching you how to feel better physically, how to do better financially. As ministers and individuals committed to serving, we still feel like we're in ministry. We are helping families provide and save their homes, preserve their marriages, and provide for the people that depend on them. And if we can help you and show you a way to do that, have a little fun on the side, there's nothing more rewarding. I am privileged to be able to work with my best friend, my partner of nearly 37 years. I call him the boss, and I hope you know it's in the most affectionate terms. Chuck Wing, the boss.
Thank you, Sally. Quick question. Anyone here over the age of 50 besides Sally? Anyone under the age of 25? Anyone between 25 and 35? We have baby boomers, Gen X, and Gen Y, right here.
You left John in here.
No, she made it, I did.
John's in no man's land.
Here's what I want you to understand. 6 years ago in San Diego, Sally and I sat in a room with Tom and Bethany Alcazan and about a dozen people. And Tom asked the question, who would like to make a 6-figure income in 6 months? And every person in the room raised their hand. 2 months later, Tom asked that same question, and there were only 2 people in the room that were the same, Sally and me. Everyone else, for whatever reason. And here's what happened in the next couple of months. We found a stay-at-home mom. Not someone we enrolled, but through someone that we enrolled who knew somebody, who knew somebody, who knew somebody. That stay-at-home mom now has an organization of over 3,000 people. Wow. And we essentially captured the San Diego market. Nice market, huh? And we did the same thing in Murrieta, Temecula with 4 families, all of whom were, I think 3 of them were stay-at-home moms, 1 of them was a working mom, but 4 families in a living room. 16 weeks later, we had 900 people in our group. Wow. 16 weeks later. Would you like to know how we did it?
Yes.
You see, we've done this over and over and over again. In the Bay Area, in October, we had, I think, 7 families. Our last meeting in the Bay Area, over 400 people at a single Saturday meeting. You see, Tom Alkazen is the consummate teacher and professional in network marketing. He's done this for 35 years. You want to just take a guess how much money he's made over that period of time? I mean, just take a wild guess.
40 million.
You're very, very close. Yeah. And you have to remember, he started when he was 22 years of age. And he worked 1 year for somebody else as a computer engineer, decided he never wanted to do it again. He spent the rest of his life being a student of this industry. Now I call him a consummate professor of this industry. And he is revered. When he goes overseas, he has thousands of people that beg him for just 5 minutes. And of course, he can't see everybody because everybody wants to know, what's the secret? What's the key? How do you do this the way you've done it so successfully over and over? Tom is not only my enroller, but my friend. And he mentored us, and here's what it came down to. When he said, who wants to make 6 figures? I said, I do, but I didn't just raise my hand at a meeting. We went and saw him the following week. And I said, I'll do anything you say as long as it's legal and moral. As long as it meets those 2 criteria, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And I'll never forget the words that he said. When the student is ready, so is the teacher. And in 5 months, we went from being $250 a month to $10,000. Last month, BK sent us checks for over $50,000. But here's the thing that I want to impress upon you. Everybody does with this what they want. We sent $45,000 to charity because we still live on about $5,000 a month because we want to. Our passion, what gets us up every day, is the chance to help people. That doesn't have to be your passion. It's, you know, Tom gives more to charity in a month than most people make in 10 years. And yet that's his passion. It doesn't have to be yours. But whatever that passion is, whatever it is on your heart that you want to do, that is the key to getting started. You have to visualize your future. My son-in-law is about ready to jump into this, and I said, go down to the BMW dealer, pick out the car you want, sit in it, take it for a test drive, feel, smell, experience that, because when you get up the next day and some idiot says, well, this is a pyramid deal or some such thing, you're just going to laugh and say, no, my car's waiting for me, next. And that's what Tom taught us. Today I love what the kids say because they call those people haters. Having anger towards, can you finish it?
People reaching success.
Everyone reaching success. Yeah, haters having anger towards everyone reaching success. And that's what haters are. Here's the deal. When we got started, the people who were broke and just over broke, who said, no, this would never work, are still broke and just over broke. And I can't even explain to them how our lives have changed. They're still broke or just over broke. And they were going to tell me what to do to be successful. You see, you guys have it a little easier because some of the people in my life when I was 50, I was over 50 when we started doing this, some of them were actually people that had homes. Some of them don't anymore because the economy crashed, they lost their jobs, they lost their homes. But today, for all the reasons that you guys know, you're about ready to retire from a career in the Navy. You got your whole life ahead of you. This is the secret that Tom shared with me and why we stuck with it, why we were the first people to become elite in San Diego with all these folks in San Diego. Just imagine that you are a pioneer, and this isn't 2013, it's 1820. You know what happened in 1820? You American history buffs. What began to happen in the American West in the 1820s? You had these people that stood on the edge of the prairie looking towards the Rocky Mountains, and what did they see? Indians, rattlesnakes, death, poison water, and most people would stand there and they stood there their whole lives just looking out there thinking, man, I bet there's something good out there. But they wouldn't take one step towards it. They were frozen by their life, their circumstances, but there were these few people that ventured out into this great expanse. And here's the amazing thing, if you read their journals, I was a history teacher, can you tell? If you read their journals, they saw railroads, they saw cities, they saw this vast expanse full of all of these dangerous situations becoming settled and tamed, and they saw it before anyone else saw it. What's the application to all of you? Do you realize that right now you are in the very same position that we were in San Diego 8 years ago? See, this opportunity is 8 years old. It's about 6 months old here. Who has the longest business history in the room? How long?
About 5.5 months.
Bingo.
Wow.
See, I promised Tom that I was going to be that person for you, that he was for us. Here's the picture. He held the ladder for us. He showed us how to do this. He showed us how to open up whole new areas. That's how we've made our living for the last 8 years. First it was San Diego, Bay Area most recently. And so guess how you guys got started? The Bay Area. The Bay Area led us all the way across the country. Somebody from this room is going to know somebody in the Midwest, somebody back on the West Coast. It's going to circle back, going to go north, going to go south, going to go to Europe. And we've already seen this happen over and over again. And I'm kidding. I kid you not. Who in this room would like to be making 6 figures in 6 months?
Yes, sir.
Here's the challenge. You realize how many times we're willing to come back here? You see, this blows my mind. You know, I expected 4 or 5 people here tonight. That's enough. We only need 4 or 5. That's how we always start. We started in the Bay Area with 4 or 5. We started in San Diego with 4 or 5. And yet, who stays the course is going to make the money and is going to build the empire, because here in the Northeast, you know everybody's watching us, right? You can't be a star ambassador without people with their binoculars watching every move that you make. Not in the Alcazar organization, but other parts of the Vima organization. And what we know with the greatest confidence, we have a system that works better than anybody else's. We're working with the top money earner in the world, and we're going to do here what we've done every place else. But here's what you need to commit to tonight. Because without these commitments and guidelines, it won't work. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
First of all, you gotta be committed. You can't just say, I want to do this. You actually got to show up. Who do you know that should have been here tonight?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's Friday night. Party! You know, we got stuff to do tonight. And that's what happened to those people in Tom Alcazar's living room, because the next month and the next month and the next month, we kept showing up, we kept bringing guests, and finally we found that person that created an empire. It didn't happen with the first one. You guys actually have a tremendous start here. To have 4 or 5 committed people. How far did you drive tonight to be here?
Oh man, hours.
But you see what's happening here? This is a family. This is a team. If we work together, we have every generation covered in this room tonight. There's nobody on this planet we can't talk to. Nobody that we can't talk to. Baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, you guys heard it at convention. This revolution is going to take so many people, change their lives profoundly, and set their families up for incredible lives in a very short period of time. You got to be committed. That means to each other. That means to what you say you're going to do, you need to do. If you're going to have an event, show up. If people need your help, show up and help them. This isn't singles tennis. This is like basketball, baseball, football. You got to play this as a team, because you may not have every guest in the room, but every guest is going to elevate the business for everybody else, because the more people we have at these meetings, if we do these monthly, you know how cheap it is to fly across the country these days, by the way? It blew my mind. I think your ticket was what, $400? You can't even drive for $400. And we were here in 6 hours. Yeah, from Southern California to Rhode Island, 6 hours and what, 35 minutes? So it's very easy. It takes us longer to drive to San Francisco.
Wow.
Than it does to fly all the way here from Southern California. Because I like to drive. But, so my point is, do you see the value of a monthly meeting where we keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Wait till we have 400 people at one of the local hotels. Do you think that will build belief? And guess who's going to have all of the people in the room? You guys. And then we'll go to New York, and then we'll go to wherever. Let me just give you a couple of statistics that you probably already know. It took 10 years for BK with New Vision to hit 20 million a month. 10 years. Here's what's happened with Vima. It took 7 years to go to 10 million. In 4 months, it's now at 18 million. So 7 years, 10 million. 4 more months, 18 million. You see what's about to happen? It's called blowing the roof off. Absolutely blowing the roof off. Because there are enough people now with enough market awareness, and this product is being so well received. Sally alluded to it. You know, you guys just think Verve is the only thing in the world. You have people around you that are building million-dollar businesses with Body. Wow. Not to mention the fact that we didn't do it with anything but Vima. Verve is like icing on the cake. Body's a cherry on top. So you got to take this serious, guys. You got to work together. I'm going to suggest, my son-in-law is going to enroll probably tomorrow. They live in Newport, half an hour away. Where's Westerly again? Isn't that south of Newport? We're going to be here for 7 days. We're going to have a lot of fun and catch up as a family. But I'm going to ask you to call me. I'll excuse myself if I have to, and I'll come down and do a meeting in Westerly if it's helpful. Even though Sally's going to stay and play, because we're here to play too. But I'm doing it because I want you to understand that we're ready to commit to you. We're ready to make this trip every month, just like we made the trip for 6 months to San Francisco. It's actually a shorter trip, you know. It's kind of fun staying at the Hyatt Regency, where my daughter found this place for us. You guys know where Goat Island is?
Yeah.
Really a nice place. So, that sound good?
Yes.
Here's the secret. Start inviting. Don't worry about the haters. Get people to meetings and do as many meetings together as you can. This is a great room. You know, do we have any guests here tonight? Perfect, okay? The guests are the most important people in the room. If you're a brand partner at the end of a meeting like this, you guys know what the most important thing is? Help them get their questions answered. Show them how to get started. Help them make their first check in 24 to 48 hours. You realize how important that is? We're going to do everything in our power to help him make $700 his first 24 hours. Wow. $1,500 if he's got 6 people on his list.
You guys can come over to my house now.
Are we making sense? We're here to help. I talked to Jed just before the meeting started. Do you think Jed's excited about us being here? Because Jed, how many of you know who Jed is? What an incredible young man. Stu, Elena, Pete Sanchez, this kid that I knew in middle school, Brad Alcasm, you know? You know I was Brad's middle school principal, right? Yeah, I got a picture handing him his 8th grade diploma. So, we're a team, we work as a team. What I'm going to propose to them if we take off here is that we're going to start routinely, may not be all of us every month, but if Jed gets here 1 month for a monthly meeting, then Stu, then us, then Brad, you see how this works? We will have somebody here that's making, you know, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 every single month to make sure that you guys have the credibility and the expertise to help somebody who's really serious. Because what if one of you runs into a Chuck and Sally Wayne at that crossroads who's ready to make something work? Or somebody who's ready to make a life-changing career move. Those people are desperately looking for something to work for them for the long term. It doesn't have to just be a young person. And here's the other thing, and I'll finish with this. If you have someone that can't get to a meeting, do you know what to do? To put them in contact with us.
Phone them.
Skype.
What do you do?
Skype.
Skype. Phone call. We have a conference call line. We'll do a Skype call. It only takes 5 minutes, and we'll go through it. It works really well. We do it all the time with people all over the country. The other thing that we can do is that we have our office set up so that it looks like I'm standing in front of the room doing a home event. So if you need a guest speaker, the meeting runs about 30 minutes. All you have to do is exactly what these guys who did a great job. Congratulations, by them. They did a textbook job. And what we do, we won't speak this long because we usually don't speak for more than about 10 minutes. But as a guest speaker, it'll look like I'm standing, if I were on this screen, if you had me on a Skype, it'd look like I'd be standing in the front of the room in my coat, right in front of my computer with our high definition camera. We'd speak for 10 minutes as your guest speaker. So that for those 3 weeks of the month when we're not here, we can still be at multiple events because we only talk for 5 to 10 minutes. But here's how you use us. Other than Doc Edwards and Dr. Wang, this lady knows more about this product than anybody on the planet. She was the person that the doctors were calling from all across the country who couldn't get a hold of Dr. Wang or Dr. Edwards.
Wow.
And so you have a resource in her that you can't imagine how valuable it is for somebody who's a physician, a healthcare practitioner, somebody who's a holistic practitioner. I mean, she can tell you what the xanthones do. She can tell you all those ingredients, how they come together to create the change that occurred in your body. Like John, I'm a numbers guy. I'm an analyst. What I do for Jed and his team, I help them create a strategic plan every month to hit their 4-week goal. I'm happy to do the same for you. I'm so excited. Anybody here know Cody Vaughn? He's upline. He's upline. Who's in Elena's team? Cody is upline to Elena. And I sat down with him at the beginning of the 4 weeks. He was a diamond leader, and he said, "Where am I going to be, Pastor Chuck, at the end of the 4 weeks?" And I said, "Star Platinum." And his eyes just, "How can that be? I won't be. How can I be Star Platinum?" I said, "Because the numbers are there." He hadn't even analyzed his own business. Today he's sitting at 60 cycles with a week left. He just hit platinum last week, and he called me today and said, "How did you know?" And I said, "Because the numbers don't lie. The numbers never lie." And so if you want to take this seriously like a business, don't treat it like a hope and a dream and a genie coming out of a bottle. It's numbers. It's so much volume left and right. It's so many new members. It's so many gold packs. And if you get serious and you want to have that discussion, I'm happy to have it with you. Because once you get to that level of seriousness, your business changes. There's no more hoping and wishing. I got to have a few more meetings, got to have a few more enrollees. You get down, you do the work, and that's what we're here to do for you. Help you get more meetings, more enrollees, more people serious, so that your business begins to move exponentially. By the way, did I tell you guys how many new people were in our group last week? Just take a guess. 1,400 last week, in the last 7 days. Quick math, that's 200 people a day. Break it down. You know how many that is an hour? 24 hours? Just under 10, about 7 people an hour. Every hour of every day. All week. Actually, it's been a little better than that. You know why it got so slow last week? We're all at conventions. we're all in one big meeting instead of out in roll. You guys, I so appreciate your time and your attention. We look forward to the long haul with you, and I can't wait in 6 months when we come back together. Who has that? Here's how we communicate in San Diego. Hit your cycle tracker. That's where I'm at. And when somebody hits their goal, you know how much fun it is to celebrate? So who's going to have the first car? You guys think you got some? Some light, perfect. How close are you?
If I have 20 silver packs on my profit.
How close are you? See, he's thinking the right way, isn't he?
I got 5
20 silver packs. Yeah, that is all down to volume, new enrollments, and volume.
Maybe a little less. With a lot of
Well, before we scoot out of here, any questions? Are we done here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to start.
Are you ready to change your life?
Sure.
All right.
What is your name?
John.
John.
Hi, John.
Hey, everybody! John's just made a decision to change his life.
All right. Who brought you to the meeting tonight?
And get you paid and promoted in 48 hours.
Who brought you to the meeting? What's
Good thing you're in the hallway. Yeah, I was just coming out of the gym.
Yeah, get a picture. You wouldn't be the first guy that got hijacked into a BMW.
Let's do it.
I think 2 of your boys maybe lost connection. One guy still never no camera.
All right, 1, 2, 3.